You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible.
I'm going to try not to crack up as I read this prompter copy. The Trump campaign paid women, employees,
you know what?
nearly 20% less than their male counterparts. I'm trying to be Roland and just like, this is some funny spit. I said spit, y'all. I didn't curse on the air. According to a court filing this week, the filing is part of a federal lawsuit by Alva Johnson, a black woman who worked on Trump's campaign, claims that he kissed her without consent. Well, since he grabs. Kissing is like minimal. At a campaign rally in August of 2016. Okay. Johnson is alleging gender and race discrimination in her lawsuit. Omarosa Manigault Newman, who worked on Trump's campaign as director of African American outreach, has submitted a declaration in Johnson's case backing her effort. Okay, did I do okay with that?
As best as you could. I commend you.
Cleo, my brother, help me out with this.
Well, I might get on your nerves when I say that I'm not one of these Omarosa haters.
Well, me neither. I just find her amusing.
I think Omarosa, just like I think this is true for this brother here, cares about black people and has a whole other approach to dealing with the issue that I couldn't stomach personally, but I often can't stomach the Democratic Party also, so let me make that clear. But I think that these people were trying to do what they thought was going to be helpful to black people inside of that place and learn the hard way that it wasn't going to work. So now they're trying to sue where they see inequity.
But okay, when you lay with dogs, you rise with fleas. That's what my grandma always say. So the man was a genital grabber. He was a serial whatever, in addition to being a 10,000 liar. And you expected him to act like he had good sense for you?
I mean, not necessarily good sense, but certainly some sense of decorum, especially when you're running for president of the United States.
Sense of decorum, Kelly?
I didn't say that I believe this. I'm just going from...
Sense of decorum?
Decorum is relative.
Trump's strategy worked. I don't know what y'all talking about. He's the president.
What I'm saying. So
it did work.
His strategy worked.
Now, so Omarosa's involvement in the lawsuit, I don't know her personally. I never met her at all. If there's an issue, I think we've heard something like this with the Hillary Clinton campaign and maybe even the Bernie Sanders campaign as the pay gap between what men and women.
Okay.
So this is not anything new. I do know that Omarosa left the White House as one of the highest paid staffers at about $179,000 a year.
Making the same amount as many white men were making. Because that was
John Bolton, Sarah Sanders, Hope.
Because that's the cap salary there.
Yes,
we're talking about before.
Before.
She was making, I think she said $7,000 a month, and there was a white guy who was making $11,000 a month.
Yeah,
so that was the gap.
But I don't think that I don't know if that that may be true. But these type of things, as far as pay gaps on campaigns, this is not a new story.
No.
So
your point is that Trump ain't the only bad guy, right?
If he's a bad guy at all, because I think the Hillary Clinton campaign,
a bad guy.
they explained.
Wait a minute, if he's a bad guy at all.
Well, no, you're absolutely. Pay discrimination is not has no partisan face. Pay discrimination, when you look at the aggregate data, 80% women make about 80% of what men make aggregatively. And when we look at even MBAs coming out of grad school, with their offers, you're getting between a 10 and 20% differential. Wow. Same qualifications, went to the same schools, but part of it is that women don't bargain. Men get an offer, they say, is that all? They say, give me more. And if they really want, women say, I'm going to Disneyland. Being happy.
Well, I'm not sure that analysis is relevant to most black men or a lot of black men. This is coming from interviews and experience. Some black men are very glad to be there in corporate whatever and get ulcers and all kinds of stuff from tolerating the racist BS, including not getting raises and not getting like all the black people work at CNN, for example, they still sweeping. You know, they have never made it to the top of the Caucasian News Network, CNN.
The Caucasian News Network.
You know, I don't know if it's anyway. I think I made my point.
I think you made your point, and I think you're absolutely right. I think that people who think they have power feel like they have power to negotiate. That would be basically white men. I think that white women, black men, other people of color do not necessarily feel that they have the power to negotiate. They just happen to be there. Yeah. And so you get an offer,
so
they
long
take it.
for us to get there.
Right.
You know, you have to fight, and you basically have to negotiate just to get to the table. And then once you actually get to the table and get the contract or whatever, I mean, there could be like a level of mental exhaustion there. You know, just
that's a really good point.
You know, like I've been in plenty of situations where it's like you have to fight just to be heard, and then you finally get heard and they agree with you, and you have the opportunity to bargain and negotiate and stuff, but it's like the adrenaline's gone.
And I will say it would have been great, and of course, you know, you can't turn back time, but it would have been great to hear Omarosa as she was going around the country campaigning about the greatness of Donald Trump to talk about those things.
Can I roll my neck, please?
Well, that wouldn't work. That would have been that would have created a schism.
I mean, she could have made it to the White House if she said that.
Well, that's my point. But I want to say, from my observation, that I think, since we keep talking about gender and power and audacity, I think that there's
and caucasity.
Oh, well, caucasity, if you will. I think there's more white women who are willing to bargain than black men.
Well, of course.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I remember, you know, I'm old, so I remember back in the day there was a cover of Black Enterprise in the 80s. It had a white woman and a black man arm wrestling. And my point was, where the black woman? Probably laying on the ground somewhere because she wasn't even being considered. And when you look at wages, white men at the top, white women, black men, almost equivalent, and then black women at the bottom. So white women are the mothers, daughters, sisters, and wives of the white men who are in charge.
Exactly.
And they therefore are empowered. African American men, when they're able to make that testosterone connection, when they're able, which is not always, are able to do something, but many are not.
Yeah, sometimes testosterone is interrupted by social castration.
Ooh, Cleo Manigault, I'm not fooling with you today. I'm not fooling. He throws it down. We're gonna move on. At castration, I don't know. I've been doing this research on lynching, so you got me there.
In Atlanta, for our school choice is the Black Choice Town Hall event. There was an elementary school in Atlanta, folks. This is a black elementary school. 5% of the school's students were reading on grade level. I'm gonna repeat that. In Atlanta, 5% of the children were reading on grade level. So you then have to ask the question, what's gonna happen when they're in middle school? What's gonna happen when they are in high school? Will they ever be able to catch up? Will they be consigned for the entire life of being behind?